Well, good evening and welcome to your most authoritative evening political show. I would first and foremost want to apologize for coming away late with the program for tonight. Unfortunately, there has been a problem beyond our control. But once again, we are here. We are live on Pan-African Television. We're coming to you from our studios in Abelinque 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. You can join in the conversation by sending your views, comments, and contributions on 026084659, You can as well leave your suggestions, questions, and whatnot on our social media pages. We'll make a time and read all those stuff for you. We are streaming live on Facebook, and so those of you who are watching us on Facebook can try as much as possible to share the Facebook live post for other people to also get the opportunity to watch tonight's program. Tonight promises to be very, exciting, promises to be very, revealing, very hot on, tonight's edition of the program. We are talking about the current state of Dumso in the country. Dumso has been a problem, and it has been a national problem. All governments have suffered Dumso, from former President Jerry John Rawlings, may his soul rest in perfect peace, to former President John Ejekum Kufuor, to former President John Evans Atta Mills, may his soul also rest in perfect peace, to former President John Dramani Mahama, and today under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President Williams Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we are still witnessing Dumso. But you recall that a lot of things were said when the New Patriotic Party was in opposition, and I'm talking about when President Dankwa Akufo-Addo was leading the party in opposition. They said a lot of things. They accused the previous government for the Dumso we witnessed. They lambasted the previous government. They talked about the fact that it was as a result of mismanagement of the situation that led to the collapse of a lot of businesses under former President John Dramani Mahama because of Dumso. Today, we are here. When they assumed office, they also talked about the fact that Dumso wasn't a generational capacity issue, but rather it was a monetary issue, and that we had generated a lot of power in excess to an extent that we're supplying some power to neighboring countries and all of that. What has happened today? Well, we are told that this current Dumso is not the type of Dumso we witnessed under former President John Dramani Mahama. I was wondering, if your light goes on and off, that one too, do we have types and all of that? I've been joined in the studio by Elikem Kotoko. He's a member of the National Democratic Congress communications team. He'll be helping us discuss this issue. We will be joined pretty shortly by Nana Dansa Appiah, who is a member of the New Patriotic Party communications team. He'll be here pretty shortly. He's already in the studio warming up to come and discuss the issues in its proper perspective. But let me start with Elikem. Elikem, good evening.
Good evening, Justice.
All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I am so grateful. It's always a privilege to be here.
Very well.
Television.
Very well. Very well. Anyway, I can see that a lot of people on social media are calling on you to lead the party in your internal elections. In fact, they are calling on you to lead the youth front. If I say the youth front, it means that they are calling on Elikem Kotoko to stand for the National Youth Organizer position. Is this something that you are considering? I've screenshot a lot of some of those comments on social media. I sent those ones to you. I mean, you are my very good friend, and so
yeah,
you know the conversations we've been having. And I want to find out, specifically on this show, because those people are watching and willing to know if you heed to their calls.
I am sure. Thank you first and foremost. And I would want to even say good evening to one Prince Gabi, Dela Kota Bright, and Mabel Sayram Gasu, who is my
own Mabel,
as an ardent follower of your program.
My own Mabel,
and then to Abraham Ferguson, the supreme leader. Justice, yes, I have seen a lot of those myself, but sincerely, I think we have just come out of an election, and we are still we are doing a couple of other things. I am still also doing a lot of consultations and engagement with all relevant stakeholders. I believe when the appropriate time is due, I will definitely make that announcement publicly. Yes.
So it means that you are not certain as to
we are still in the consideration process.
You consider what your people are saying or not?
We are still in the consideration process, and if the people are also saying something, you ought to also listen.
Exactly.
But in listening, it requires a lot of plan and strategy to ensure that the tact with which you are moving forward is actually in the best interest of all.
I hope you know what it means to reject calls from your own people.
Yes.
Okay.
I am very much aware. So I am so sure that once the time is due, we'll make the appropriate announcement that will be in the interest of the party and Mother Ghana. Yes. Yes.
Anyway, all right, viewers, you are still watching Hot News right here on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Appiah. Keep your messages coming on 0260-8465-39, 0260-8465-39. You can as well, going down, right? Of course, can as well send in your questions and whatnot on our social media pages. We'll make a time and read all those out for you. But as I said earlier, we are looking at the current state of Dumso in the country. Dumso has been a national problem, which is, bedeviling every government. Former President Jerry John Rawlings did not, get it easy when it comes to Dumso. At a point, he also had it. Former President John Ejekum Kufuor did also not get it easy. He experienced it during his tenure. Former President John Evans Atamels, he also experienced it. Former President John Dramani Mahama, for about 3 years, were in Dumso, and it became a topic of the day. We thought that President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when giving the nod, as he has been given now, would have ended it. But as at yesterday, almost half of this country was in darkness. Yes, we are told that the current Dumso is not the type of Dumso we witnessed at the former President John Dramani Mahama. I have been wondering, and I'm sure you are also wondering, if we have types of Dumso. Nana Dansa Appiah has joined us, and definitely he will be telling us what type of Dumso we are witnessing under their tenure. But then I'll come to you, Nana. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh, this was fun.
It's been a long time.
I did.
I know. Yeah, they check up on me.
Oh, but
you are a brother.
I know.
You are my
from the same family.
Exactly. Tribe, the same family.
I know.
Unfortunately, you don't look for your brother because you are enjoying.
Enjoying what, man?
Are you not enjoying? You are in government.
So the fact that you are in government means you have to enjoy. Does it come as an automatic button being pressed?
No, are you saying that you are not enjoying?
Oh, but see, look at my brother. It's been a while. I think for almost about 2 years or something. You could see my brother in this African print.
Okay.
With his NDC badge on, and you can clearly see. I've been watching him throughout the media and his
except that he's been tormenting your government.
I don't know where the torture is coming from or something, but I don't know where. I don't know what you mean.
Elikem has been trending of late on social media with some of his responses to, some notable persons in your party you would want to defend some of the things that people are saying against your party.
Elikem from day one has been trending. The fact is, he contested for a national position in the NDC. And Elikem that I know is that let's say he's a brother, he's assertive, and he will trend, definitely. Where he's also coming from, definitely he will trend. You understand? That is from the propagandist roots, so he will definitely trend.
Nana,
yes, my brother.
I'll ask you 2 questions, then we move on to the business of the day. Which of the camps are you? Alan or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia?
Are they camps in the NPP?
Or didn't you hear the statements people are making? That it would be unwise for the New Patriotic Party to field an account candidate, in 2024.
But, you see, in the NPP, we have 3 blocks. We have the Dankwa, Buzia, Dombo. And in the submission of the perceived person that you are saying, because you never mention the name of the person. I wouldn't also want to mention the name of the person.
But have you heard the statement?
Oh yes, I've heard the statement. He never made mention of, or he wasn't specific on whoever. He made a statement to the effect that fielding in an account would be disastrous to our party's quest for power or something. But honestly, with the greatest of respect, it was one of the most. Oh God, I don't. Because honestly, I wasn't happy with the
exactly. But have you seen, flyers of both Alan and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia circulating on social media?
Equally, I've seen Haruna Idrisu's own, and I've seen.
I'm asking you about your party.
No, I'm only telling you the flyers that I've seen.
Okay.
I've seen that of Haruna Idrisu.
Is Haruna Idrisu a member of the New Patriotic Party?
Haruna Idrisu is an embattled, how do you call it, minority leader in the Ghana's is the 8th Parliament in the 4th Republic. So I've seen his own. I've seen my good brother's own, that is Elikem Kotoko, going in for the National Youth Organizer. And I think 2 days ago, I spoke to one of my good friends. That is, I don't have his authority, but at least I'll give a teaser. Mugabe Mase. I'll be the first person to sound this. He's coming in as the national organizer of the NDC.
Okay.
Take it from me. So I've seen his flyers, I've seen Elikem's own, a very nice gentleman, fine man at that.
And I'm sure you will definitely support your brother. But
why not?
Have you also declared your intention to go for a national position in your party?
But you know, we have an agenda, the Achim agenda. So that is where we are looking
the
at.
The Achim agenda.
Yeah, the Achim agenda.
The Achim agenda.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay. I think that has been a wonderful and very interesting conversation right there. Thank you so much, my brothers, for coming. I'm so grateful. Now, Elikem, let's move to the business of the day. Dumso. We all know what happened under former President John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
The statements made by the New Patriotic Party at the time. Today we are told that this type of doomsday is not what we witnessed under former President John Dramani Mahama. What is the NDC's position on this matter?
Yeah, thank you so much, Justice, and good evening to our cherished viewers once again. To my brother as well, too. I think that we have come of age as a country to stop playing semantics with words. In being descriptive in terms of what Ghanaians are going through.
Okay.
What is the meaning of doomsday? It's in reference to the power outage. And as expected, there was one person who was in charge, and when that was experienced, he was called incompetent. And within the space of 3 years, having inherited an energy sector where there was no effective or any proper management of that sector, for which there was a debt, and the fact that there was also a high demand for energy. And as a developing country, energy is one of the major bedrocks of our development. And so President Mahama, or the NDC at the time, saw the need to increase our generation mix, which was what resulted in the solving of the energy crisis we found ourselves in at the time. And that was why you coined the word doomsday. And still called him incompetent. But by the 4th of September 2015, if you recall, the Power Ministry issued that statement that made us all know that the load shedding had come to an end. And that was it. Till date, we do not know what exactly has been the contribution of this current government, but a lot of rhetorics.
Now, you do not know the contribution by this government.
Yes.
They are telling you that the doomsday witnessed under former President John Dramani Mahama, where you had to go in for car power and then some other,
other
plants, to add to the national grid, wasn't really the solution to the problem. And that at the time, it was a monetary issue. The country didn't have money, to buy fuel to power the plants.
If it was a monetary
now,
issue.
They are saying that the IPPs, they have paid some of the debt that we owe them as a country, and as well negotiated with them to help, with the power situation in the country. That is a contribution significant enough to talk about.
It is the reason why when such submissions are made, it is very laughable. If you should take car power, if you should take even a marriage, just the two, for instance, and let's take the cost of that, could that not have actually offset the cost of fuel, if that was actually the challenge?
Okay.
And so if anybody is telling you it was a financial challenge at the time, what was our generational capacity at the time? it was a little below 2,000 megawatts, if I'm not mistaken. And what was our peak demand at the time? And so it is not a matter of rhetorics. And that is why I'm saying that it was very convenient for an opposition at the time to be spewing all manner of what have you. But when it came to the actual work to be done now, we are seeing completely zero. It is the reason why I'm letting you know that even as we speak today, they are rather confronted with a financial challenge and are finding it difficult to actually come clean and tell Ghanaians of the fact that, look, we are in a financial mess and we are unable to resolve it now, and this is it, maybe this is the roadmap and that. But as of now, we are still being, you and I are being told that Ghana is the only country that is enjoying electricity in the whole world, where if we have to embark on a maintenance schedule, it requires 4 months. To the people of Ashanti region in Kumasi, it requires more than even 4 months for maintenance work to be done. You are the media men. Take your cameras from now till the next 4 months and December and see how much work will be done at the places that are being mentioned to you, that it is as a result of those maintenance works that they are coming to embark on this. Don't forget that even in March 2018, the current Gridco CEO made you and I know that the country will be plunged into a major power outage, nationwide power outage. That was the current CEO of Gridco, who made us know of these. And so it is not news that some of us are witnessing this, because we are already privy to what is going on. Government has failed to invest at the energy sector. We have failed to actually imbibe in ourselves the culture of maintenance. So a lot of the transmission lines, etc., are now congested, and therefore there's need for the kind of work to be done. Now, the kind of work you need to do requires money. It again brings us back to ESLA. ESLA, which President Mahama at the time actually bequeathed over 230 million cedis to the current government in 2017. And don't forget, from 2017 till date, they have also been able to raise over 12 billion from ESLA. Then another 20 billion from petroleum revenues. But the major question is, what has this regime been doing with all the funds that accrue to it?
Because I was about to ask you that, well, if you're saying that they are facing financial challenges, if they have been able to raise these monies from ESLA and all of that, then it means that we should have enough money to be
exactly. It is contained in their own financial statement, and that is the reason why you begin to wonder why we are doing this. Now, these are people who are supposed to be competent managers of the sector, of the economy, etc. ECG recorded a profit of 500 million in 2016. As we speak, it recorded a loss of 4 billion since 2017. Containing those documents. Then also Gridco recorded a profit in 2016. Now as we speak, Gridco has recorded a loss of 600 million, which is also contained in the 2018 financial statement. And this, we can go on and on and on. And if you look at the Energy Commission budget also, at the time that it is very critical, the president has slashed their budget by more than half, rendering them very ineffective. So how do you expect such an institution, which is a major regulator, to function effectively if you are slashing their budget by more than half, when even you have the executive secretary by his authority writing to want to slash that of the judiciary and the legislature as well, whilst the executive continues to want to spend anyhow they wish to. And this can never be the case, that we want to be applauding this kind of incompetence. Now, it is no longer a matter of whether you call it doomsaw or localized power outage or intermittent. Or don't forget that from January 2021 till date, Gridco alone has given us 6 different reasons why we are experiencing nationwide power outages, and that alone worsens the matter. People's appliances are getting destroyed as a result of either high voltage, low current, intermittent power outages. And these are the matters we should be talking about. It should be pure mediocrity for anybody to want to now be comparing, to say that, oh, during John Mahama's time it was this and now it is just that. What mediocrity? Did we elect leaders to now come and be comparing themselves with their competence to someone they refer to as incompetence? Then what is the measuring standard now, if actually you have to even be making reference to the past, which is the reason why you have been elected to solve the problem? So the too much talk has not been a solution to what we are talking about. As we speak today, you recall vividly the Ameri deal, which was one of the major critical interventions under John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. What did they not say about Ameri? They chastised, they said all manner of things, the figures were inflated or bloated and what have you. And when they came to power, they even tried renegotiating that deal. Justice, what happened to that? Everybody watching and listening to you and I can now confirm that they nearly duped us. When we stood against it and spoke vehemently, they all came on the media platforms defending it that it was to save the country. In the end, there was a U-turn. And the axe had to fall on some innocent man who said eventually when the dust settles, he will talk. And we have had people who spoke so well, very strongly. One of them is Pastor Mensa Otabil. I will consistently mount pressure to talk against him for this. If he refuses not to talk on this, that he is a hypocrite and has tendered himself in as a coward. Because if he was bold enough to tell Ghanaians at a time when we were facing some of these challenges, that it was a wisdom challenge. And what we are facing today is no different from what we were in at the time. What is making you to remain mute? Because their silence has even become louder than one can imagine. And therefore, the challenges confronting us is not only about the fact that it's technical. Yes, even if it is technical or maintenance, which is supposed to be done, it is as a result of the fact that government has failed to actually maintain or imbibe in the culture of maintenance, which has resulted into congestion on the transmission lines and the transformers. And so now you need money to do that. And they have to now tell you and I that we need 4 months to do so. You recall when President Akufo-Addo usurped the power of the PURC by slashing revenue that were going to the GridCo, by announcing those, taking out the powers of the PURC to make those announcements. Now, those are some of the challenges we are confronted with today, because government didn't have any provision, any plan at all, how to cushion the sector after it announced the slash in revenue generation from the GridCo. So you have now done this, and the challenge is confronting you. It is the reason why you and I, already you and I have been told to pay financial sector cleanup levy, COVID-19 what levy, and VAT is going up, the 5.7 in petroleum, what have you. So they now find it very difficult to tell you and I that, okay, we ought to pay something else. Don't forget, I just made you know also that ESLA alone has actually accrued over 12 billion cedis to this government. And don't also forget that over 230 million was bequeathed to President Nana Addo before President Mahama left office.
And this is the same mentioning verifiable.
Very verifiable. So they should go to the various statements. And the budget as well, it is there. So if you have gotten all this, tell us what you have done with it. But the fact remains that if you have continued to expend money anyhow without any proper plan, this is the challenge we are confronted with. I have asked one final question, Justice.
Okay.
Are we saying that Ghana is the only country that ought to conduct a regular or routine maintenance on our power sector, and that regular routine maintenance requires a 4-month period to do so? And the people of even Ashanti or Kumasi, for instance, they will be having the power outages until how do you call it, December? Come on, we have come of age. There are neighboring countries who have also done that.
So, Elikem, before I come to Nana, there was this debate about who ended Dumso before the 2016 elections. The NDC says they had ended Dumso. The MPP was like, no, you never ended Dumso. And that even at the time they took over the reins of this the powers of this country, there was still Dumso. If indeed the NDC at the time had ended Dumso, why then are we witnessing this? If the NDC at the time was convinced that the situation was a generational issue, to an extent that we had a Mary and car power, we have generated in excess, to an extent that we are even supplying power to other neighboring countries and all of that. Why are we in Dumso currently?
That is the question we should be posing to those in government, because they are the very apostles.
Did you really solve this?
But these were the apostles who were even making you know that President Mahama even generated excess capacity. And if we have in excess capacity and we're supposed to do routine maintenance, we cannot fill in the shortfalls, but rather go on a load shedding. Now, as even GridCo and ECG are trying to come up with a timetable, it appears the political interference of the executive is making it difficult for them to come up with that timetable. The point is this. What exactly? And you see, it hasn't even got to do with the NDC telling the viewers that we resolved Dumso. Ghanaians know for themselves. I just cited for you a release from the Power Ministry. It's somewhere in September, 4th or 14th of September, when that release was issued. That stated clearly that we had come to an end to the load shedding exercise as a result of the fact that we have resolved the challenges that were confronting us at the time. And if you recall, there have been instances where they themselves have been asked what has been their contribution to the sector that they feel they resolve to
All right.
themselves. And I'm not
Can
sure
you
we
step
have
down for me
provided with that
briefly? I'll
answer.
come back to
the
you.
question either now is, what is the challenge confronting us? It is a finance challenge, and you are refusing to come clean to tell Ghanaians about that.
All right, I'll come back to you, Elikem, on this issue. Viewers, if you're watching us, you can send in your WhatsApp messages via our WhatsApp line on 0544 235984. 0544 235984. Let me take the WhatsApp number again. 0544 235984. 0544 235984. That's our WhatsApp text line. It is also displayed on the screens, and so you can send in your WhatsApp messages and all that, and we'll make a time to read all those out for you. Now, let me come to you, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Dumso under the New Patriotic Party. One would have thought that under President Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia's dispensation, we wouldn't see anything Dumso. Looking at the statements they both make, or they made during the previous government era, and then also coupled with the fact that you campaigned heavily on Dumso and corruption ahead of the 2016 elections. Today we are told that this type of Dumso is not the type of Dumso we saw under former President John Dramani Mahama. Do we have types of Dumso, and which type of Dumso specifically are we, seeing under your watch?
Okay, very well. Justice, before I answer the questions asked, I believe it is only fair and proper to extend some greetings to your cherished viewers and let's say listeners.
That's all right.
Yeah, and the very good people of Achim-Oda.
Achim-Oda,
yes.
our hometown.
Your caucus.
You see, Justice, I would also want to state this. For instance, today something really happened within the ECG enclave where the senior engineer officers or something, management, were calling for the head of the ECG
exactly.
MD.
Yeah.
To say the least, I'm totally disappointed in them.
Why are you disappointed in them?
Let me tell you, see, when this young man by name Kwame Budu took over, you could actually see the rot in that particular institution. And when this young man came in, all channels leading to this level of corruption have been blocked. I'm telling you for a fact. I personally know Kwame Budu. You get it? And those people who are also within the rank and file of our party, who are behind this thing too, I would say I am totally disappointed in them. Now,
you think there are people behind from your party?
Please.
Pushing
it is within and without.
Removal.
Yes. And I'm totally disappointed in them. Go there. Get your journalist or your let's say, your journalist to just go there and do your own investigation about that man. And you get to know who Kwame Budu is.
That will be taken up.
Yes. My brother, you see, in life, I've always held this principle in life that when we get this opportunity, it isn't that we are the most wisest men in Ghana or that we are the most wisest young men or whatever in Ghana. But the fact still remains that it's an opportunity that has been given to us. And also, we make factual and academic argument. My brother started on this premise where he made statement to the effect that on the 4th day of September 2015, the Power Ministry made an announcement to the end of what? Dumso. Was that what you said?
In September.
Yes.
In September 2015.
That was under former President John Dramani.
That was under former President. If there is anything to go by what he said, do you know or do you remember when the then sector minister by name Nyama Donko resigned, and the purpose for his resignation was that he gave us a timeline that if by that time he was not able to solve the Dumso in under his watch, he was going to resign. Check the fact. It was either the 30th or the 31st day of December 2015. So what are we talking about here? If you are to go by what Elikem said, that on the 1st day of September 2015, the Power Ministry made an announcement to the effect that they've ended Dumso. And there was no timetable or like this schedule or something. But the man resigned, the sector minister by name Donko, resigned either on the 30th or 31st day of December, a day or two before 2016. And now, fast forward. When we had a press conference in our national office, I think it was held by the then Minister for Energy, Bachi Ejako, where Bachi Ejako made a statement to the effect that the issue of Dumso in this very country was an issue of funding.
Okay.
You get it? By then, you guys were owing gas. That is the Nigerian gas. For which reason they were not supplying gas to us. It got to a time under the NDC's dispensation. We were told that cars which were using this, how do you call it, LPG were to pack, and that they were the cause for shortage of gas in this country, for which reason they do not have some to power the turbines or what have you. You understand it? Now, Elikem made mention of this car power, Ameri, and that those plant or what have you could have offset the financial challenges.
Before you go to, Ameri and car power, you spoke about when Dr. Donko, resigned as, the energy minister because he gave timelines and he couldn't meet the timelines. Yes. You recall that Dr. Mahmoud Obamia, then vice presidential candidate of your party, also made a statement on a sister station that Mahama couldn't have been credited for solving Dumso because it was his own creation. Do you recall that statement? If he didn't solve Dumso, why would Dr. Bawumia, vice president, then vice presidential candidate, make such a statement?
Justice, these particular statements you refer to, I recollect it was somewhere around March 2016 or something.
And they are telling that they solved Dumso in somewhere around September 2015.
He is saying that if his memory serves him right, it was on the 4th day of September 2015 where the Power Ministry made an announcement to the effect that Dumso has ended. Was that not what he said? Yes, and I'm telling you that even the sector minister resigned a day or two to 2016. So
but you admit that if a statement was made as at 4th September 2015,
if a statement, and this statement,
and
this statement predates the one leading to the resignation of the sector.
Fantastic.
Minister.
And I'm saying that you agree with me that around March 2016, if the vice presidential candidate of your party, now vice president of this country, made a statement on the sister station that, well, former president, and he was asked about Dumso and the fact that the NDC at the time had solved Dumso, and then he made a categorical statement that, yes, former President John Dramani Mahama could have been credited for solving Dumso because that was his own creation. So if you created something and you have solved it, who should credit you? An admission that at the time Dumso was resolved. Would you admit to that statement?
I will admit to that statement. Are you also aware that in September 2016, either the 20th, between the 20th to 25th, we had a press conference in our national headquarters where Boachi Ejako made a statement to the effect that the problem of Dumso was a problem of funding. So which of these statements predates the other? You understand where I'm coming from? Now, on the issue of the car power and Ameri,
if it was an issue of funding, Nana, what specifically has the New Patriotic Party, done about the situation? Now
I will come to that.
Okay, all right.
You see, Elikem made mention of the car power and that Mary deal, where he made a statement that if we are to go by, if indeed it was a problem of funding, the money spent in purchasing these plants could have taken care of these financial challenges that the MPP alluded to there.
Exactly.
You see, my brother, what I want to tell Elikem is this. Without this car power or Ameridio, where were they going to channel their sort of gas, for which reason we need this plant to generate electricity for us? Assuming without admitting, if I buy a V8 for you and I do not buy petrol inside, will that V8 move you from this particular area within the Abelempe to maybe West Legon? Is it going to be possible?
Not at all.
Yes. So when you buy this car power or Ameri, and we go in and negotiated, we went in to negotiate with the Nigerian gas, and that we paid those monies or those debt you were owing, and that gas now was released, and that we're able to power these turbines. Justice, I recollect that before going to the Ghana School of Law, I was at the Central University LLB. Well, I was out doing my first degree in, let's say, law. That is the LLB.
That's the LLB.
We started off with, I think, about, if my memory serves me right, about 2,700 Ghana cedis, or 3,500 thereabout. We ended up paying about 4,500. When we went to find out, we were told that because of doing so, we needed to pay more. We lived in this very country where we were told that if we wanted stable electricity, we needed to pay realistic, how do you call it, charges or fees for, let's say, electricity.
Okay.
Elikem made mention of the fact that where there's this comparison, it's ground for mediocrity or something. Justice, I will not in any way die for a country that had no future or had no history. What are we seeking to do? We are seeking to project the image of the NDC. And I'm here to do same for NPP. And what are we doing? Are we not equalizing or bringing that kind of comparison, weighing them on the balance of probability to see which of them is more, let's say, credible to manage the affairs of this very country? Is that not what we are all seeking to do? So where lies his argument of mediocrity, where one want to, and that has always been the standard of the NDC. Now, on the issue where he made mention of that he said there was some monies giving some kind of, he quoted some amount, and you even asked him whether those monies he was quoting
are verifiable.
He made mention of if you could go where, which.
Okay, so Elikem is here.
Which
and is invited to tell you.
Yes, why not?
Go to the 2018 financial statement of Gridco, for instance, it is there. 2018 financial statement of Gridco.
Oh, I see.
And if I'm telling you that John Mahama bequeathed 230 million to President Nado from ESLA, and you have also, you see, these are evident in the various budgets. So if you have even gotten over 12 billion from ESLA and 20 billion in terms of petroleum revenues, this shouldn't take rocket science to even know even the source in even getting it in the first place.
All right.
But if you want you need to
they give you a source and you can verify that.
Why not? You see, now, let me tell you what the problem is. The real problem. We have two under the NDC.
Nana, you did not answer my questions. One question I've asked.
What is your question?
Is the type of doomsday we are witnessing under your watch. You didn't tell us what type of doomsday, because the energy minister, the current one, said the type of doomsday we are seeing today is not the type we saw under former President.
All that he's trying to tell you is that there is nothing like doomsday.
There is doomsday because the whole of yesterday, almost about half of this country was in darkness. But let me just ask my question.
Let me go on to.
No, I want to, and then the other question.
I want to really come.
No, you.
So let me.
And then the other question you didn't answer is about the fact that you said you held a press conference to tell Ghanaians that
2016.
Exactly, to tell Ghanaians that the issue of this country's energy sector, the DUMSO, wasn't about generational capacity but funding. What specifically have you done? Now you are in power.
No, we never
in terms of that.
We said that the problem of DUMSO in this very country was a problem of funding. We never made mention of any excess capacity generation.
But Kenneth Foriata, finance minister, in one of his statements,
I am here. And Kenneth Foriata is not in the studio to speak to whatever you. And as to whether he even said that, I don't even know. So let me speak to what I know.
Right. Okay. So what do you know? What have you done specifically with in terms of funding and all of that? Tell us.
Even to tell you that we have gone into offset those debts with gas. For which reason we have gas, and you are saying
what about the IPPs who were complaining recently about the monies that government is owing them?
Justice, relax. You've asked a question. Then what have we done? I've given you.
Go ahead, my brother.
You see, Justice, the problem we had then under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, like I said, was a generational capacity issue. You get it? There were no funding. We had no money to pay for this generational, for there to be, let's say, power or for this generational capacity or something where we could have this stable electricity or something. Now, under this very dispensation, you and I know, and Elikem knows this thing that I'm about to say, that we have excess generational capacity. Is it true or not? My brother, can you answer? Is it true or is not? Well, is it good
or bad too?
It is good.
Okay.
Why is it not good? To the extent that we could just extend some to neighboring countries for us to get some funding into our coffers. Why is it bad?
Okay.
You get it? It is nothing in relation to anything about funding. What we are seeing now, I heard the technical, I think the engineer for Gridco, and he made statement that because of maintenance, it is not a routine maintenance. You made mention of routine maintenance. Since 1970, whatever, according to, is it 1973 or something, there had never been any maintenance on this particular lines or something. That's what I heard.
Really?
Yes. I think I heard it on Joy News.
But I have a different information altogether on that.
I am speaking to what I heard from the engineer. And currently, we've been bedeviled by this particular challenge.
Yes.
And you are saying that it is what? And in any case, look at our people from the Ashanti region. These are people who even voted for us. If there is anybody that we could just treat them with some kind of ear, it is not the people in the it's not the people from the Ashanti region. We could have looked elsewhere. You get it? So the whole issue has to do with some technical challenge, and there had been some form of you can choose to smile, you can choose to laugh, whatever.
No, I can't smile anymore.
I'm not saying you cannot smile. You see, you see,
now your own brother can smile.
I'm not saying you cannot.
No, you can go ahead.
So the whole issue.
But can you step down for me in a minute? I'll come back to you.
We have so much power being generated. Even in my area, where you could get so many people who are hooked onto a particular line. I'll be truthful. I'm on the same lane with Ayariga. Ayariga is on the same. Ask him if you have his number.
Are you talking about Honorable Hassan Ayariga?
Honorable Hassan
Ayariga. Okay.
You
my
understand?
own friend.
Whether or not the electricity company of Ghana had contracted people to give other lines to the extent that they have mounted another plant because intermittently this thing trips. How do you call it? The light trips. We went to find out, and we got to know that so many people have been hooked onto the lines.
All right.
You get it? So averagely, you see, they have some form of the number of people who could be hooked onto a certain capacity of, let's say, power or something. Okay. And if more people are hooked onto it, what do? There's a need for us to do the expansion.
All right.
So that kind of politics of equalization that under our watch, you made us sleep in darkness for about 3 years. Justice, believe you me, if Elikem had any sister of his who, excuse my language, with the greatest of respect, died during the days he had been taken to the theater to go give birth because of doing so, he wouldn't have been here.
Same is likely to happen under your watch today.
Oh, same is likely to happen. So we experienced it for 3 years. And for instance, ever since we came here, had there been, let's say, I'm coming, had there been light off, for which reason maybe this automatic switch would just go in.
We had experienced it earlier today.
You had experienced it earlier today.
I'm
speaking to what I am speaking to what I came to meet, not what you are telling me. So Justice, let me.
No, if you are saying so, the truth is, it is because we slept in light. Because we slept in for 3 years. That's how come the NDC is in opposition.
You see the blazer.
Ghanaians believe the party.
Nicely, you understand. During the days of the JDMs or the males,
that's why they are in opposition.
That's why they are in opposition. It doesn't lie in the math.
And that's why you are in government.
It doesn't lie.
And that is why the Ghanaians expected that to solve the problem.
It doesn't lie in the math of the NDCs to pontificate.
All right. Okay.
You see, I am putting it on record.
I'll come back to you.
Should this thing even go on for more than 6 months, I'll resign as an MPP person, join the NDC and campaign for the NDC.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Another Appiah. Hi, I love tonight's program, and we are counting. We are still counting. Anyway, keep your messages coming in. We'll make a time and read also all those out for you. Let me say a very big thank you to Zeno Laundry Services. Zeno Laundry Services. Though he's been in light out for the past 3 days. But finally,
you are the Appiah, right?
Oh no, sorry. He has ironed my blazer for me. This beautiful. Anyway, so thanks so much, Zeno Laundry Services. They are located at Akwetima. Yeah. Now, Elikem, you have just 5 minutes.
Yeah, just
deal with everything.
You see, we need to first know that Ghana's primary backbone of the transmission system is a network of 161 kV, 69 and 225, and the substations. Now, why I'm having to tell you this is that these lines, there's not a single one from 1957 to date that has not been changed. So when you even have people, that is why
of 1973. He made mention of 1973.
That is why I'm telling you that.
He didn't say 57.
Yes, no, I want you to know.
Elikem, he has made reference to what an engineer has actually said. So I believe that you would respond to the engineer instead of...
So my response is not to him, but it's to what the engineer said.
All right.
In record time, you should also know that it is why I started off to let you know that Gridco itself, within this year alone, has given us 6 different reasons why we've been experiencing power.
And what are those 6 reasons?
They gave a lot of that. I can fetch that all for you and before we end. They gave us 6 different reasons why we're experiencing power outages. The most recent one was a broken conductor or so along the Trasaco area, etc. Now, this is just from the 2019 PIAC report, Public Interest and Accountability Commission. It says of the $334,636,806.22 of raw gas supplied by the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation to Ghana Gas, no payment was received, largely on account of VRA's inability to pay GNGC for the lean gas supplied, bringing the total indebtedness of Ghana Gas to GNPC in respect of lean gas supplies to 668,118,346. That is for even main gas supply alone, as of the PIAC report.
Which year?
PIAC report for 2019.
2019.
Yes. You get my point. And so I am telling you that even if an engineer comes to tell you and I that transmission lines have not been changed since 1973, that is a blatant lie through the teeth to you and I, because they think we are not technically inclined enough to understand what they are talking about. All our transmission lines have received upgrades and changes over time. Not a single one is obsolete. If anyone, you see, that is why I told you that the challenges that is confronting us is also as a result of the failure to maintain to imbibe in ourselves the culture of maintenance. So for some period now, you don't want to tell us that, you see, for the whole 4-year period, can they tell you and I what maintenance culture they rolled out there in order to ensure that the equipment were in good shape and running effectively? None. And that is as a result of the fact that they were not financially sound to do so. The reason why they are telling you and I, you can tell that my brother did not really tell us what the problem is. He's been going around with why he disagrees with the senior engineer staff against the ECG boss and all.
That has nothing to do with this.
The fact is that because of the financial challenges they find themselves in now, it makes it difficult for you to even do the maintenance within a week or two. That is why I asked the question. Is Ghana the only and first country in this world?
But you have said here that they have generated huge sum of money from ESLA. They have gotten money from
it is there. What has it been used for?
So why would they face any?
So the question is, what has this money been used
He's telling you that the problem is about technical challenges, and they are working on it to resolve them.
The technical challenges are some equipment are obsolete that needs to be replaced and all that. And you have also looked on for the past 4 years and not done anything about them. And this is a government that was telling you and I, the president actually usurped the powers of the PURC to slash revenues to Gridco. And so when the free electricity was being enjoyed by citizens, the question was, what was the alternative measures being put in place to cushion against that? Now you and I are parties to what ECG told us just, I think last week, that there's a need for an increment in tariffs in order to sustain the operational costs. Because a president chose that out of will, by usurping the powers of the regulator, it has decided that I'm slashing this in the name of COVID. Meanwhile, in the name of this same COVID, you have gone for funds from everywhere, but we cannot tell what exactly you use those funds for. So this is not rocket science for anybody to know that, yes, you are facing technical challenges, but those technical challenges are as a result and are still holding as a result of the fact that you don't have the financial muscles and integrity to even get there and be able to solve them. Don't forget that we lost a potential $190 million when the power agreement was actually also cancelled. And you know what $190 million could have done? It would have also resolved a lot of the challenges that we are confronted with today. But for the fact that we were able to spot the fact, the parochial interest of some people where they were creating special purpose vehicles in order to somehow dupe you and I, which we can always make mention of even a Mary in the instance. A lot would have happened. Now what are we seeing? So we should be told in clear terms what the challenge is. ECG is also telling us that they need increment in tariffs. Government is telling us that they need to do maintenance work. Okay, so if it is maintenance work, let's do the maintenance. That is why I'm challenging you that you, the media, should follow the ECG and the Gridco. Okay. Let them tell you that this week we will be here doing this work for this week and that week. Let there be an independent technical person to tell you if the work they are doing is work that should take a month or take a week and they are deliberately prolonging it. Right. So they need financing to procure equipment and make sure they do the services of maintenance on the equipment, which is what is strangling them at the moment. Because the finances are not there. The question has been, what have you done with the 230 million that was handed over to you in 2017 from ESLA? As we speak also, you have generated from 2017 to 2020, you have generated over 12 billion from ESLA. That's the energy sector levy. And you've generated another 20 billion from the petroleum levies or revenues. So what exactly have you put this to? That is why I also raised the question, the fact that we have the executive who is very interested in slashing budgetary allocations even to the energy sector regulator. Even that the executive secretary would want to unanimously just put pen to paper and slash that of the judiciary or the legislature. But the executive itself is allotting everything to itself in order to still run afloat. That is not how we govern. And that is not the definition of the competence that Ghanaians were promised.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Elikem. Let me take a few of our messages. You will take us home. Justice, the NDC completely put in measures to completely solve systematic problem of our energy sector. The generation problem was brilliantly dealt with. The NDC also ensured reduction cost with a $1 billion Atuabo gas plant and more commercial oil deposit discoveries. The energy sector debt was also to be dealt with ESLA. All these were handed over to the incompetent President Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led administration. What have they done so far in the energy sector in their last wasted 4 years? As for who solved doom, so Dr. Baumia is the right person to respond. His response at Joy FM is there for all over the world to go and watch. Thank you so much. Kofi Sika sent in this one. Kofi Sika, thank you so much for your message. This one says the MPP is a disgrace to Ghanaian. Mahama is being made a hero for their lies. May God help Ghana and deliver us from these hands of this embarrassing situation. Thanks, Justice. Thank you too for your message. Good evening, host. The MPP man should tell the truth. They did not do anything about Doom. So Dan in Takra, they sent in that one. This one says, good evening, Justice. We were in Ghana when John Peter Amewu said they have paid all the money owed ECG and even paid 6 months arrears. Why then our lights are going off? From D, Akachi North. D, thank you so much for your message. Justice, this is, please, my name is not Justice. My name is Justice. This is...
It's a typo.
The MPP man is not telling us the truth. Kotoko, you do all. You are too good. Thank you. My name is Ibrahim from Anya. Ibrahim, the name is Justice, not Justice. Okay. Good evening, Justice, and to Elikem, and to Nana. Justice, tell Nana and his MPP government that Ghanaians are not kids, and they must admit that Doomso has come, and tell Ghanaians the truth. Sami, in Elembele constituency. Sami, thank you so much for your message. Nana Intema says, good evening, Justice. I think the MPP man is just polishing lies and running away from questions. When Kalpa and Ameri were brought in by former President John Dramani Mahama, were they not operational before MPP took over in January 7, 2017? Where did Mahama get gas to power the 2 plants? MPP should not worry our peace. Okay, thank you so much for your message. Nanado, President, is making things difficult for MPP communicators. Elias in Takwa sent in that one. Why do you think so? Kwame says this government is indeed hopelessly clueless. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, in fact, just lies the MPP are struggling to even lie. This Doomso, or you would want to refer to it as Sodom. This Sodom issue is a threat to national security and armed robbery. They should do something about it as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your message. Tell Nana that power is like an army officer in uniform. The moment the uniform is hung on the wall, nobody will salute you again. I'll always remember what former President Kufuor said. He said we should all be very careful because power can deceive you. From James K. Saba. Thank you so much, James, for your message. Please, good evening to your viewers. Please ask the MPP man, Nana, if you are working and somebody told you he wants to end our working, so he will buy a bicycle for you to be riding. Then the person bought the bicycle for you, and you are now riding it. When the bicycle spoiled and you start walking again, is it the person who bought the bicycle now who is making you walk again, or you brought back the walking to yourself? But if at all, I don't get your message anyway. But then, well, that's his message too. Your criticism of your opponent should be charitable to your level of intelligence. To argue that the leadership of NDC government was so stupid that its response to a financial challenge in the energy sector was the acquisition of more installed capacity is a disservice to one's intellect. Koshi Badohu Ayivo, Koshi, Badohu. Ayivo. Good evening, Mr. Justice, and to your panelists. In fact, I'm so happy for bringing this particular topic for discussion. To be honest with you, Justice, the MPP government has nothing to say with regards to this Dumsor issue. They shouldn't push the blame to AC, to the ECG. We are totally disappointed in them for their mismanagement. Thank you so much for your message. A lot more messages are pouring in. I may not be able to read all. Kindly forgive me. Good evening, my soldier Elikem. Pastor Mensa Ontabel is still watching Animal Farms. So don't worry. Let's hope for a brighter day. NDC with JM 2024 will rescue Ghana back to track. King Kaka. King Kaka sent in that one. King Kaka.
Yeah, I think I know.
King Kaka. What else can this clueless MPP government manage? Even the ESLA visionary JM put in place to solve the financial issues or energy sector, which they said they will abolish when they come to power, has been used for bonds and paying pension. For more for Nana, for hopelessness, and to pay excruciating taxes in Ghana. Stephen in Kwabenya sent in this one. Stephen, thank you so much for your message. All right, okay. Mr. Justice, I'm totally disappointed by President Akufo-Addo's government. We are fed up with all the enjoyment and suffering. So, well, I don't get your message, but you said, so thrilling and yet so risky. Education, corruption, health, corruption, fishing ministers, corruption. Please, I beg. Anyway, pack and go. We are fed up by Baba Alhaji, Bono East. Thank you so much for your message. A lot more messages, but Nana, kindly take us home.
You see, with respect to the PIAC reports, which was read by my good brother, Elikem Kotoko,
okay.
He indicated that it was 2019 PIAC report. Respectfully, sir, have you seen the 2020 report? I'm asking. And in the 2020 report, that particular submission or the amount you quoted in, was it still, or did it reflect in the 2020 PIAC report? You see the NDCs, they choose and pick us and when it suits them. We're in 2021. We went as far back as 2019 to pick a report. If there's anything to go by, with respect, you can come in.
Justice, I expect him to tell us they have paid, and let me give you evidence. If he thinks because the
if you have indicated that it was a 2020 PIAC report, what would have been my argument?
In the 2020 PIAC report, have you paid?
He should be in the position to tell us. Because you have read 2019.
You are in government. Tell us of the 2020.
So there is no need for you to even go to the 2019.
Okay.
Now, on the issue of this Ameri deal, where he made statement that we have even gone to extend the period. Ask my good brother, the 5 years or 15 years extension that we even went in, of which we even went and even bargained with respect to the PPA agreement in line with this one. You could clearly see that even with that shorter period, we were even to pay more. So where lies this argument? I said, and I will say this thing here and now, I'll reiterate the position. I say, if this doomsor thing that the NDCs are perceiving that is like we should be prone into, I'm saying that should this thing happen for 6 months, continuously for 6 months, I will resign from the MPP and I will join NDC. At least, even if I'm told to even go and bring in the grassroots people or like the cadres, I would even go in. Because I believe in one principle. And the principle is to the effect that this is clearly a technical issue, has nothing to do with SS generation capacity or something. So my brother, we are not in doomsor, we can never be in doomsor. There are people who died during the time.
Let's get to it. My time is up.
And not time we are not dying.
Nana, can you wrap up?
I'm not finished.
Can you
wrap up for me? All that I'm saying is that we would only plead with the good people of that Chancellor region and the entire
country,
let's say Ghanaian, and that they should just
exercise patience.
You are a very good lawyer. You see the way you are leading me on. You see, they should just exercise patience, and it is going to be well.
All right.
That's all that I was
Thank you so much, Anna.
But with the people, the senior and the junior staff, whatever, of the ECG, they should be very careful. They should be very careful. It is not about the man being my friend. You see, let me tell you. We have people within the MPP who are occupying, let's say, chief executive position. Who failed woefully. But when it comes to Kwame Gudu, I'll give a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Just a quick one. You know, one of the concerns of the staff must be made known is that some of the decisions he took unilaterally without even adhering to technical submissions that were made to him by the people, especially even his technical deputies. It is contained in their documents. And don't forget that he was even the deputy at the time who promoted.
Yes,
let's not forget that. You see, on the PIAC report, the 2020 PIAC report, that's why I was asking him to, I thought he would The 2020 PIAC report will be out somewhere, maybe in June of next year, of this year. The 2019 report, yes, you see, when was the 2019 report out? So it was out on the 23rd of June 2020.
It doesn't work that way.
Have a look at it. When was the 2020? When was the 2019 PIAC report released? It was released on the 23rd of June.
Exactly.
Justice, what are you saying? This is PIAC 2020 semi-annual report.
And
when was it released?
There. What's the date?
The date is what? Report. That is 2020. 23rd day of June.
Yes.
And this is 2020. I'm not in 2020. He's telling you. He has even shot himself in the foot.
See,
what are you talking about?
I think
please. You see, what I am telling you is that
I said bring the 2020 report.
So you can bring it out.
I don't think that we have to waste our time on this. I think that
I want to make one last submission. It is most unfortunate that at a time like this, when we are faced with such crisis, we have even an energy minister who is not acting responsibly enough, who feels that because he's rather been appointed as sector minister, he has to be going on visits and be showing flyers all over. When the people are concerned, look,
you mean that is your sector?
Yes, that is your sector.
Which flyer? Which flyers?
Oh, you didn't see flyers?
You mean Honorable Napo is not responsible?
He's on a tour. All right, look, get to work.
Is it not going on?
We don't need that.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much, Elikem. I want to say a very big thank you to all our viewers and all of you who have sent in your messages. Unfortunately, I've been unable to read your messages. Kindly forgive me. I read some, but I have a lot more, to do justice to. But forgive me. God willing, tomorrow I'll do so. Thank you so much, my cameraman, Foster, for being in the studio, except that at the point you left the studio, but that's fine. Justice is massive. I'm okay. And then also to my director, Sarah, thank you so much for being patient with me. Mabel Sayram Gasu, you live in the UK. Thank you so much for following this program and then always being an ardent viewer. Also to Seches, my sound man. And then to all other persons, my producer Latifa and all other persons who have been part of this production. I'm so grateful. Make a time with us, same time tomorrow. Once again, my name is Justice Appiah.
Any special attachment to me?
Has been hot news. Well, there's no special attachment. Well, there's no special attachment.
He's confusing you.